12,306 shows no tickets, but other platforms seem to have plenty. Do these ticket snatching apps have their own exclusive purchasing channels? With the 5-day May Day holiday approaching, I opened 12,306 to book a ticket, only to be disheartened by a screen full of waitlist buttons. But on third-party ticket snatching apps, it's a completely different story. 30 yuan speed boosters, 50 yuan light speed purchases, and 88 yuan VIP exclusive channels. Wow. 12,306. Clearly says there are no tickets left. So how do these third-party platforms magically conjure them up? Today, let's talk about the truth behind these ticketing apps. Many people believe that these third-party platforms are allocated a specific quota of tickets by 12,306, which they then sell to you. They claim their wide resources are why they can get ticketsy. But in reality, this is completely false. 12,306 has officially stated that they have never allocated any ticket inventory to third-party platforms. Every single ticket on every platform must come from 12,306. Paradoxically, all these third-party platforms actually do is take your order and your real name information to submit a waitlist or purchase request on your behalf on 12,306. They use high-frequency monitoring for any ticket updates to auto-submit requests up. From start to finish, they rely entirely on the 12,306 system. So I must clear the air for 12,306, the unsung hero in this situation. People often complain about it crashing, lagging, and its ugly UI, and most of all, failing to secure a ticket. But did you know? For it crashes, it is under an unimaginably massive volume of traffic. During the Spring Festival peak, 12,306 handles over 88 billion visits in a single day. That's over 10 times the daily global search volume of Google. Our concentrated on this one system. At its peak, 12,306 sells more than 20 million tickets in a single day, issuing 300 to 10 tickets per second. If the order processing complexity of Tmall's Double 11 is 1, then the complexity of 12,306 is roughly 300. So why is the train ticketing system so complicated? Because a train ticket is not just a single commodity. It is a dynamic, interconnected inventory network. A train running from Beijing to Guangzhou makes many stops in between, and the same seat can be repeatedly allocated across different segments. Selling one segment immediately affects the ticket availability for all other segments. Any refund or change triggers a recalculation of the entire inventory status, which the industry calls the residual ticket fission algorithm. Any single transaction can trigger chain reactions across dozens of data points, and this process is performed by 12,306 thousands of times every second. In fact, as early as 2012, 12,306 launched a technical overhaul. At the 2013 Spring Festival rush, the maximum time for ticket queries dropped from 15 seconds to under 0.2 seconds. During recent Spring Festival peaks, system resources can scale up to 5 to 10 times the normal capacity, with ticket issuance taking as little as 2 to 8 seconds. So it's not that 12,306 has poor technology, it handles the world's most intensive single-mode transit ticketing scenarios. However, sheer technical power is only part of the story. What is truly underrated about 12,306? That waitlist button. Most people think waitlisting is just waiting for someone else to refund their ticket, but can you really get a ticket that way? In reality, the concept of the waitlist is much broader than you think. Waitlist tickets on 12,306 come from two sources. The first is seats released from refunds and changes, which everyone knows. Crucially, the railway department also uses the number of waitlist orders as a basis to proactively launch new trains and add extra carriages. Therefore, the waitlist isn't about fighting for existing inventory in a zero-sum game. It actually generates new capacity based on demand. Take this year's Spring Festival rush from Guangzhou South to Chongqing West. On a certain day, waitlist orders exceeded 20. After detecting this, the railway department expanded train G3722 from 8 cars to 16 through multi-unit recoupling. These additional tickets are prioritized for those in the waitlist queue and are not released for general public sale. Only after all waitlist orders are fulfilled and tickets still remain will they be opened to the public again. So what exactly are these acceleration packages sold by ticket snatching apps? The low, medium, high, light speed, and VIP ultra speed options sound like gear levels in a racing game. It creates the illusion that by paying more for a higher tier package, you can improve your chances of getting a ticket, but in reality you're paying for a service that is already completely free. 12,306 operates on a fair queuing system once tickets are sold out. The only legitimate way is the waitlist. There's no such thing as paying extra to cut the line. It's like waiting for a table at a restaurant. You take a number and wait. The acceleration package, it's like someone charging giving you money to stand at the door and shout with you, "I want a table." But the problem is no matter how loud you scream, the restaurant won't listen. They only care about the sequence of the queue numbers. Similarly, 12,306 only processes tickets in order based on waitlist submission times. As for the dual channel method advertised by these apps, in fact they just use your account to submit a waitlist order on 12,306. But that's not even the most frustrating part. Those acceleration packages you paid for might actually be helping others intercept your own ticket. See, that's because 12,306 has been constantly fighting against abnormal ordering behavior. On January 11, 2025 alone, 23.86 blocked 3982 million abnormal login attempts and to date 295 million abnormal waitlist orders. In other words, once 12,306 identifies your request as abnormal or high risk, your order will be relegated to a much slower queue. However, third-party platforms have developed their own workarounds. When 12,306 shows no tickets, some apps will falsely claim tickets are available. They are actually misleading users into buying tickets for longer or shorter distances, paying the fare difference on board, or even making unreasonable transfers. It looks like paying to speed up, but often you're just accepting a more expensive and more time-consuming travel plan. As for 12,306's battle against third-party ticket snatching, it has been raging for nearly a decade. Starting in 2013, 12,306 began blocking abnormal third-party apps and introduced captchas and behavior recognition. In response, third-party platforms keep upgrading scripts to bypass verification and simulate human behavior. This cat-and-mouse game continues to this day. Last December, the Beijing Market Supervision Bureau investigated a landmark case, fining a platform 500 yuan for deceptive ticket snatching practices. Recently, on April 10, authorities summoned 7 third-party ticket sales platforms for regulatory talks. The core mandate was to ban bot snatching and high-frequency ticket scraping, while prohibiting any interference with 12,306's normal operations. Ultimately, the reason these shady tactics of ticket snatching apps can exploit so many people is simply by capitalizing on information asymmetry. They take advantage of the average traveler's lack of knowledge about 12,306's algorithms to create artificial anxiety, then through complex EE designs. With success rates of 98, or claims like beating 99 of users, they brainwash you. In reality, the success rate of 12,306's official waitlist is very high. Official data shows it can exceed 70. Once you submit a waitlist order on 12,306, whenever there's a refund or the Railway Bureau adds extra trains, the system prioritizes allocating these tickets to those in the waitlist. Moreover, in a sense, while third-party apps may seem convenient, they actually increase the load on the ticketing servers, making the already congested network even worse. During this year's May Day holiday, cross-regional passenger traffic reached approximately 15 billion. That's 15 billion trips in just 5 days. In such a massive travel surge, 12,306 is undoubtedly the backbone. Over the past decade, people have constantly tried to use technical means to snatch an extra ticket from this fare system. But whether or not you use scripts or pay for speed boosters, you all stand on the same starting line. A ticket home shouldn't become easier to get just because you spent 50 yuan extra. Or should it become harder just because you didn't?